Hi, I'm Nathan, and I'd rather be board gaming. And as you see, I have Ventura. Picked this up during a holiday sale with Fantasy Flight for about $10. And I have seen it on sale occasionally with other people for similar prices, but I've never been able to find any kind of real information on it, videos, walkthroughs, or anything. So I thought I would take a chance. So now I'm going to share that with you. It's a big box. I'm going to do an unboxing, show you everything that's in it, and to do a mock two-player playthrough of it just to get an idea of the game and to see if maybe it's also something that you might like to just fill out and order with. And many of you are probably thinking, wait, I thought we were going to do a Ventura unboxing, and we are, but I wanted to show you box relative size. This is Deception, which is pretty popular. This is the game Trains, and you can see the box for Trains is bigger, both sides. Okay, both sides. It sticks out and it is much thicker. Okay, so that is the game Trains. And now, there we go. The box dimensions are roughly the same as the game Trains. Okay, but when I take the lid, you will see that it is thicker. This is a big box, so it should have lots of goodies in it. Let's take a look. Alright, Fantasy Flight, little magazine catalog here. That is from 2010, so like I said, this is an older game. Here is the instruction manual. Alright. And this is some sort of, I don't know if it's a scoreboard or just a strength board, but it's just paper thin. Alright. Then we have some player boards for each player. Okay, so we have turn marker places for cards for different turns, and then we have some. So these are probably the individual player boards here because they have different colors. So we have a blue, a yellow, some sort of brown, and then red. Okay. And on the other side, they have a crest. Each one has a different crest and a different family name, so that's pretty cool. Medici, Gonzaga, Visconti, and Este. So, pretty cool. Then we've got a lot of cardboard here, and with this being Fantasy Flight, this is going to be thick cardstock. I don't know if you can see each individual one is nice and thick. So let's get into this. Definitely worth the cost I paid. So there you go. Nice and thick. Okay, that tile seemed to come out very easily. There's a token. Nice and easy. Put that back in for now. Some coins. So flip these over. Alright, so we've got, looks like a river and a bridge. Got a lake here. Some mountains. Here's some banners. I'm not sure what that's for yet. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's some fields. You can see some grain fields. There's a little keep, and there's a big castle. 3, 4. Here's some forests. 5, and there is like a town or a city. So the artwork's not super great, but it is easy to read and interpret. The colors are real nice. They stand out real well. I like that. And then, of course, the very important item for any kind of game collector, especially Fantasy Flight games, the proof of purchase. So there we go. Those look cool. Then we've got big stack of cards. Let's see. Those are pretty thin. Those are pretty thin. They're about standard size, pretty close to like a deck of cards that you would get. Okay, artwork is not spectacular. It looks more like, but it's great. I mean, it's good. It's functional. Everything's very clear and legible. It looks like old portrait paintings. So that looks pretty cool. But there's not a whole lot on each one, and it has all the text and stuff. So big stack of cards there. All right. But like I said, those cards are thin. I don't know how much shuffling you'll have to do yet. And there we have the backs. This is 2 coins. They have blue backs. These are 1. So these are like farmers and villagers. You can see the pitchforks. Has a value of 1. And then we have a card for each of the houses. Cool. And then typical Fantasy Flight, they got this 2-tier insert that isn't super useful, and then it has all of these in underneath. Grab a few of these out. So here we have, almost looks like a chess knight. Has a value of 4 on it. And this is hard plastic. It's not bending at all. It's not. This does bend a little bit. As you can see, shot right out of my fingers. This is steel. If you've ever played Lords of Zidit, the little castle tokens, or that squishy rubber, these are harder than that by far. Okay, so nice, sturdy, chunky. There we go. There's a banner. That's cool. And looks like these have different values because there's a 1 value. All right. So that's it for the unboxing. Lots of hard plastic stuff and some cool looking cardboard to cut out or punch out. Now, one thing you may have noticed while I was doing the unboxing, okay, simple insert. It's not super protective. The box without everything in it is a little flimsy. Okay, it's just a simple insert, common with a lot of Fantasy Flight. You put the cards there, and as I punch these out, you don't have an actual game board. You have tiles to build the game board. You can put those in there. This didn't come with baggies. All the new modern games will come with, you know, several 5, 6 baggies rolled up together. The only baggies it came with was this one for the cards, and the player boards and such were inside this. So it's not a big deal. I can drop all those in there, or drop all the tiles or whatever. But you have coins, you have markers, you have all these things, and with this being an older game, they did not provide any kind of little baggies or storage. Nothing. Not a big deal for me. I have plenty left over from other games I've never used. I can grab those. But if you're new getting into board gaming and you want to throw this on to an order, to finish out an order for free shipping, you know, be aware you won't have any baggies. They come with it for storage, for like separating them into individual players and just handing them to somebody. But it's not a big, like I said, it's not a big deal for me. So over the next few days, I will be setting this up and going through a 2-player playthrough. So come back and join me. Hope you enjoy it. And yeah, we'll check this out and see what it's like. As we start setup, I will show you the temporary storage solution I'm using. This is the score track, so that'll be needed. This is a combat track, and the order of combat. When you get into combat with another player, you will each have one, and you will play your armies face down. So we will need both those, and then you reveal them. This is supposed to be the black faction. Okay, the border is a brownish color. If they went too dark black, nothing would show up, but the actual images on that are black. Okay, then we have all the tiles here. I have the 5 coins, the 1s separated, and then the negative markers. Here we have starting city tiles, 1 for each color, each faction. You have yellow, blue, red, and the black. Deck of cards, some more tiles. Then under here we have the armies. We have red and black, yellow and blue. And I think I'm going to be just playing with the red and black in this video, so we can leave those in the box. We also will only need these. These can return to the box. Then let's take a look at some of the tiles. So here we have the castle city cards for each player, so we won't need these two. We'll take a quick look at these just to go over them. By controlling this territory, you'll earn 1 income. 2 movement. This is not to move out of it, but for one of your troop or anyone's army units, troop units to move into this tile from any other tile requires 2 movement. You get a bonus of 2 ranged attack fighting here when you control it, and 0 melee and 1 defense. Okay. So if we look at some of the other tiles, this is a big stack of tiles. So here we have some hills and a river, and they all have different, here's like a little keep or a garrison. They all have different stats and bonuses. Here's an interesting one. When you're attacking, when you're fighting here with ranged, you get 1 bonus ranged score or damage plus 1x, and if you notice, it is inside of a small brown hex. Now what that means is, for instance, this keep would be built in among hills, and so for each one of these brown tiles that it is next to, you get a bonus 1. So this would be +1, +2, +3, and that would simply be a +1, +2, and that would simply be a bonus of just the 1. And that would be no matter what else was around it. And so for instance, this one here, 1 income plus 1 more income for each green tile. So what that means is, if this were the map setup and you had control of this land, you would earn 1 coin for this wall, city, keep here, or I guess that's like a town. Anyway, you earn 1 coin plus 1 coin for this being next to this field, this forest, I'm sorry. So this tile would earn you 2 coins, and then this one would still earn its 1 coin on its own. But that is only if you have control of both of those. Okay? If you do not have control of this, this is your neighbors or no one's, then you only get the 1 coin. Same as here. If you control this and this, you get this bonus, but not this one. Okay? Then if you notice on these tiles, here, there is a small number 2, if I can get it to focus. There we go. So there's a number 2. That means in a 2-player game, this tile will be included, which is, of course, the majority of the tiles, because this is a 2, 3, or 4-player game. So any tile marked with a 3 or a 4, we are simply going to put back into the box. They will not be needed for this game. Here we have some banner tiles, some marker tiles. These are the center lands just to get the board started, set up. Doesn't really matter their orientation. They always go in the center of the map. Here is my stack of tiles marked number 2 for a 2-player game. Mix these up a little bit. Then each player would get 4, and that will be their starting tiles to place to build the map. These we will set off to the side. We will need these at different points in the game, and each player will get their starting city tile. I've reoriented the tiles slightly just so that they're all facing the same way. Your stack of tiles, you can sort them and look at them, but you should not show them to your opponents. The first player is the player with the most money in their pockets, or it can be chosen randomly. I will just play left to right. This will be the black piece, the black army, which is the House Gonzaga or Family Gonzaga. And the red, or House Este. When placing a tile, it must touch 2 other tiles. Now these 2 papal tiles are always the starting tiles. They're always in the middle of the territory. And then you just must make sure that the next tile you touch place touches at least 2. I'm going to try and keep these somewhat oriented the same direction, all facing the same way. And you would just go around the table doing this. Ooh, there is a 2 coin income. That's nice. That's a nice tile early on. Let's put that there. +1 income for any green. He does not have any green, but this player does not know that. Let's place this one here. And there is another 2 income. Ooh, another 2 income field. Wow. They have some money-rich lands there. Those are fields, of course, though. So grain or grapes or whatever you want to think of. Yeah, let's put that there and get that bonus. Ah, that's what he wanted to do. So he will go up here instead. Now we're down to the city tiles. The only rule for placing cities is that your starting castles, they cannot touch. Cannot touch other castles. This player will get to go first, and I think he will place here. Is that what he wants? That looks good. And then this player will place here. Now, starting again with the starting player, he can claim his starting territory of 4 tiles. You must start here. There is a 1 coin income here, so you simply put one of your castle garrisons there to show its strength and its influence. Now, this tile, he is thinking about claiming this. It has a 1+1 bonus. Okay? So it's going to get 1 plus 1 being next to this gray and another 1 for being next to this gray. Now, that's 2 tiles. The next tile he could claim, it does not have to be one that necessarily he placed on the game board, as long as it touches one of his other territories. There must be a contiguous line. There's no real bonus here, no real bonus there in these lands. Actually, it's a hindrance to even go into them, so it could be defensible. So he's going to go this way and get 1 here, and then get these fields for an income of 2. Over to the red player, they must do the same, and they must start with their castle territory. Then this river here, they will do the same. It is a 1 income plus 1 income for each gray tile. Then they can sneak right over here and get this field for 2 and this field for 2. And so that is the way the board looks at the start of the game with setup for the 2 players. The remaining stack of number 2 tiles will be off to the side. Players will have a chance to draw some of those later and add them. And the rules do apply. It must touch at least 2 tiles. But in this case, it must also touch at least 1 tile that you own, as ownership may change during the game. Because as soon as you place that new tile, you will also place your domain tokens on it to show ownership. Here's a close-up view of the Gonzaga player board for the black pieces. It shows a breakdown of all of the actions that you do in turn order and their cost and all that. Also, you have over here, this would be your first army or your garrison. This unit must always remain in your castle. Each player has their own card. You find yours and take it, and this will be their garrison. Each one card is considered a company. If you have any company associated with any number, okay, that is the soldier icon. Okay. Now, of course, this is illegal because this is the garrison. It must go here. Later in the game, you can hire generals or heroes to command larger armies, and then you can have up to 5 companies to form an army. Then you get to pull out the little horses and mark it on the territory map. So here we have a breakdown of the different things you can do, and you can pay 1 coin to earn 1 victory point, 2 to earn 2, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. You can do that once per turn at the beginning of each game round. You can do that. And if you control any of the papal lands, you gain 2 victory points. Okay? Whoever is in last place, tie is determined by gold, and then a further tie is determined by, I believe, randomness. But anyway, whoever attains the first player marker, okay, earns a victory point. So that will help speed up the game, because the moment anyone reaches 30 victory points, the game immediately stops and ends, and they win. Okay? So here you can take a tile, you can take a face-up card, you can spend 2 coins to grab this card, and all these things, and you have to pay for everything. You have to pay for cards, you have to pay to keep your units deployed and everything. But there's a close-up look of that. Next, we have the Conscription Deck, or conscripts. These are not well-trained soldiers, but people that you can hire to fight for your cause from lands that you control. We'll shuffle that, put that next to the pile, the stack of land tiles. Then we have the unit offer here, the Ventura cards. This will have generals that you can have control large armies and give bonuses, as well as units, crossbowmen, cavalry, okay, spearmen. This will be shuffled up and the top 3 cards revealed. Here we have the score track. As soon as anyone reaches 30, the game ends and they win, or if they capture anyone else's castle. So each player takes their small token that looks like a standard, the banner flag, and places it on the 0 and we are ready to begin the game. So here we have the initial setup, and I can't even get everything into camera well. The pieces are, the red pieces are over here off the table. Here's the scorecard. Here are the battle mats, and when you go into a battle with another player, you simply cover this up. And for instance, if I was fighting with my army number 4, I'd pick up those cards, look at them. You'll see that in play, but that will give you the flow of the battle. So we don't need these. We can set these off to the side. The scorecard I can push off to the side because we're going to need a lot of room. This game is going to start taking up space, especially if we start expanding our territories. So we have the hit point markers basically for your units there, the single coins, the 5 coins. We have the Conscription Deck face down. We have the land tiles. Then we have the Ventura cards, and we have one general here, or captain of fortune, okay, and then a crossbowman and a shieldman. There is a variant in the setup that says if you do not have a mix, you could discard those and draw 3 more, but we're fine there. And there we go. So ready for a 2-player game. The setup for you should look similar to this. I will have to spread this stuff out as I play, but I hope you stick around and enjoy the game. One last thing I'd like to mention for setup. It says here that whoever earns the first player marker earns a victory point to help speed the game up. That is ignored in the opening first turn. The starting player gets no money, and then you gain 1 extra coin around the table. So in a 2-player game, 1 coin will go to the red player, and then it would be 2 and 3 coins. And now we are ready to start. So I hope you stick around, watch the playthrough, and enjoy the game. Thanks again for watching.